In this video, we're going to go over inserting values into tables. So in order to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to write an insertion query. And the structure that we're going to be using is insert into followed by the table name, as well as the columns that you want to write values to. And these values we're going to provide over here. Notice we're leaving out contact, so by default contact will be left as null. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and run this. It'll tell us that one row was affected, and to see this change, what we're going to do is we're going to write a select statement. We're going to provide a star, which means select everything from this emp details table. So here we can see that the values that we wrote in the above insertion query are now in the result grid. Another way of inserting is by providing values in the correct order. So here we're providing 200 for the ID, John for the first name, Doe for the last name, john@doe.com for the email, and we're providing a null value as the contact. So now if we run this, we'll see that yet again a row was affected. And if we run this select query, we can see in the result grid that this was added successfully. In a previous video, you might remember that we set email to have a default value. So to leverage this, what we can do is we can write another insertion query, but this time instead of providing an email, we can provide the default keyword. So if we run this now, you can see that change was successfully made. And looking at the table now, we can see that default was replaced with abc@xyz.com. Because we're writing to blockchain in ElementDB, transactions can take some time to commit to the ledger. If for whatever reason you want to wait for the transaction to fully be committed to the ledger before proceeding, what you can do is you can run this insertion command, but also use the keyword finality at the end. And this time, if we run this query, what we'll notice is that actually this query takes a little bit longer time to commit. But if we go back to the selection query, we can still see that these values were successfully written to the table. Last but not least, you can actually insert multiple values into a table in one query. As long as it's comma separated, you can use the same syntax that we've been using above. You can use the default keyword, you can use the finality keyword, and so on and so forth. So if we run this, we should get 2 new rows affected this time. And if we perform the select operation, we'll see that those rows were successfully added.